Hi everybody, welcome back to The Limit Breakdown. We review everything in TV shows, movies, and everything going on in entertainment. I'm your host, Sid.
I'm Migs.
And today we're going to be reviewing The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Our too-long didn't-watch review of the movie is 4 Hearts.
So, this movie had great visual effects, had some compelling characters, and some very thought-provoking ideas and parallels between the history of this planet and some actual human history.
Unfortunately, this movie could have been a lot shorter with the runtime. There was a lot of unanswered questions as well, such as where are the apes getting the dynamite to blow up the door, and how is there a secret society of humans that can just speak? And this is the reason we gave it 4 hearts. Stick around after our intro for a deep dive, spoiler-filled review of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Hi everybody, welcome back to The Limit Breakdown, and today we are going to be breaking down Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So let's go ahead and get this started. Sid, tell me what your initial thoughts were.
I am a huge fan of Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
I have seen the original movies.
You damn dirty ape.
I take that back. Not the original, the revamp original. The color, the not the black and white one, the one they had after that. And then I saw the new trilogy with Caesar when it first started from start to finish. And I am a huge fan, so I was very excited for this one. Overall, I think it was a pretty solid movie. I was expecting it to be more or less as it is. You know, obviously with a few pitfalls here and there. I'm hoping this is going to be another full trilogy because they left it at a cliffhanger. And there was a lot of questions that we were just like, that didn't make sense to me. But so hopefully in the next movie they answered it. But if as a standalone movie, it was good, but you might have need more outside knowledge to understand what's going on.
Okay, fair enough. I enjoyed the movie. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little bit disappointed. I guess the title kind of made it seem like it was going to be a bigger story than what it was. It was a much more smaller story, but you know, I mentioned that it had compelling characters. Noah, the primary ape character, I thought was excellent. May, the primary human character, or Nova. I thought they were both interesting in seeing how they had both adapted in their relationship as far as human to ape to human, and you know the precautions that they had to take.
As well,
and so I thought that was interesting, especially like you said, having watched the previous movie, seeing the relationship between Caesar and his original human companions, and all that. So I thought that was interesting. Like I said, the trailers showed the big kind of Colosseum scene that they had with Proximo Caesar, which is trying to build this empire.
Approximately Caesar.
But and him kind of taking the old Jesus C approach, and the Crusaders. And in the name of Caesar, they were rounding up all of these tribes and everything to do the work of Proximus, and it was some interesting stuff there. But at the core of it, it was very much a story, I think, of Noah coming into his own, accepting who he was, and eventually stepping into his destiny, which was to follow in his father's footsteps.
Yeah, I agree with that part. So definitely with the parallelism, like you said, with Caesar being in the name of Caesar, the original Caesar, approximate Caesar was trying to build a new nation, hence the kingdom. And then there was a scene where Noah was just because he's explaining it to Noah, and Noah's like, so you're doing it by rounding up other tribes and mixing them? And approximate Caesar is like, you don't understand. I'm doing what I'm doing is right. And he's like, doesn't seem right. Just so he can open a door. Speaking of doors, how did they get the dynamite? Because it seems they have failed multiple times.
Yeah.
How are they getting the dynamite every week to do this?
Acme deliveries.
That's
that
seemed.
What you don't realize is that Wile E. Coyote has been in business this whole time.
He uses the Roadrunner as delivery. And he uses Amazon. Yeah. So I want to go back a little bit and talk about the characters a little bit. So we talked about Noah's relationship to Nova, right? My dog's name is Nova. But then the human. So Nova, as you know, so she basically comes from a society of humans who can walk and talk normally because other humans at this time, most humans, have gone to their primitive self, where they're basically hunter-gatherers.
So from what I understand within the context of the first movie is that the same virus that basically made all of the apes super intelligent suppressed the intelligence of the humans that came in contact with, and they called it the simian flu. It spread all over the world, right? This was alluded to in the other entries into the movie, in the fact that while yes, it did take out a huge chunk of the population, there were people that were immune, there were people that were unaffected by it. So it obviously this has been several generations later, but it makes sense to me that if you have a group of people who were, let's say they were immune, or let's say they were resistant to whatever the simian flu was, and then they continue to breed with each other, just evolutionarily speaking, it would make sense that they would be able to protect themselves.
So in theory, yes, but it's one of those things, I guess, is a smaller chunk of population, and yes, they're normal humans with normal human capabilities, but over time, you know, they need some sort of technology or stimulations for their mind to keep going. And I guess if they're always in survival mode, they might be smart enough to do that, but how are they just perfectly exactly how they were?
Well, no, that's what it
generations ago.
That's what I guess they never really specifically said it, but by the existence of that other facility, because it didn't look like at the end after she leaves Noah, after they defeat approximate Caesar and but after the main conclusion of the movie, it doesn't seem like she shows up to this place for the first time. It seems like she goes back. Basically she was part of a group that was sent to the bunker to retrieve the I guess the chip
chip or something.
It looked like a hard drive. But
I thought it was a hard. I thought she was gonna be like, it has like knowledge and stuff. But in some way it was like a transmitter chip, so they can use
the satellites.
They can use satellites and radio waves and things like that.
So it looks like that's where they were there from. And I mean, again, I'm not an engineer. I'm not a scientist. I don't know the math or the science behind it. But hypothetically speaking, if you had a place that was secure enough where they could have renewable sources of energy, they could potentially maintain some type of homeostasis. I don't see that as being that far-fetched.
Fair enough. I suppose it just seemed weird to me, and another unanswered questions. And
and I mean, it wasn't very clear the region that this took place in. I'm assuming probably in that San Francisco area, since they're still close, relatively close to the shore. But it wasn't specifically mentioned. Also, you'd imagine, I mean, yes, we saw the two tribes, right? We saw the Eagle Masters, I guess, if they what they call themselves, and then Proximo Prime. Yeah, Proximo Prime. Proximo Caesar. Proximo Caesar's tribe.
So we're basically a bunch of warriors.
Yeah, and so
whole warriors with warriors.
So yeah, I like I said, I was just surprised that there weren't more tribes of like nomadic humans. Like, we saw one, I think.
Yeah, so there was one tribe that they had come across where they saw zebras because they didn't know what zebras were.
Yeah.
And then they saw humans. And it was a tribe of humans that were just out and drinking water in the local watering hole, which I assume was most humans at that time.
Yeah.
And she was, a smaller sect of people that are smarter.
Yeah. So overall, again, I don't think there was a whole lot to this one. To be honest, I enjoyed the story. It was smaller than I expected it to be, but at the same time, you know, you had this basically megalomaniac in Proximo Caesar that was trying to get access to weapons and knowledge so that he could expand his empire.
Yep.
And then Noah and Nova, or well, Nova's what they named her, what the apes named her. Her actual name was May, but Noah and May
and the orangutan
teamed up. Raka was his name.
Yeah.
And they all teamed up together to kind of prevent Proximo Caesar from enacting his big evil plan, which
to open the door.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. If Hetty had hands on tanks and stuff, it would have been pretty bad.
Yeah. No, I don't think he would have been cool with it.
Yeah. Two things I want to mention. Number one, the very, very ending fight scene with Noah and approximate Caesar, because the whole time it's Noah he's not very good at falcon or eagle keeping.
Yeah.
And at the end he does the
yeah,
and he can't carry a tune when he goes the and then his whole tribe jumps in.
They had a whole glee moment where the entire class got
together. The eagles come attacking. Oh my god, that scene was awesome.
That was pretty great.
And then the approximate falls. Oh my god, it was just I'm gonna clip it right there. I have it downloaded. Anyways, nice. I'm gonna clip it right there. But that scene was fantastic. I love the redemption. It was a really good redemption. Another redemption was when the big bad gorilla died.
Yes.
And he was like, I'm stronger, and whatever, I can kill you. Even though the place is being flooded, everyone's trying to escape.
Yeah, he should have been focused on escaping, and no, he's raging, chasing after this tiny in comparison to him.
Yeah.
And then he gets himself trapped and drowned.
I'm not gonna lie, that scene was my jaw literally dropped.
It was brutal.
Because he went in and you can see the expression on his face when he's like, oh shoot, I'm about to drown. And then when he actually starts drowning, like you can hear the oh my god, that's
I shed no tears for that.
I know, but it was a very graphic scene. I was not expecting it
to
be like that. So final thoughts.
Great continuation to the series. Like you said, it's the fourth installment in this of the reboot series. Hopefully, it's the beginning of a new trilogy of movies. But man, I like where they're going with it. I like the setup that they did, and hopefully we might get some answers for those unanswered questions in later installments.
Yeah, same. I love the movie. The VFX in this movie were on point. They were so good, and very few moments did I feel like, okay, this is clearly CGI. Even though we know it was. But overall, pretty good movie. Could have been shorter, but still pretty solid. Fun fact: they will be releasing a uncut version of this movie.
Okay.
And what that means is that so motion capture has gone to such insane degrees now. That's why you can see every expression on the apes' face. The uncut version that's going to be released, it's going to be the actual humans that played it. So we'll have their little motion capture on their faces, have the camera, so you will not see the actual ape renditions. So they're trying a new thing. So it's the exact same movie, but instead of the VFX apes, it's going to be the actual humans walking around with their motion capture. So
That's
a new project that they're trying. It's going to be released soon. We don't know have a date yet.
Okay.
But yeah. But that was our thoughts and opinions on the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Let us know what you think in the comments below.
And as always, don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Helps us out in the algorithm. Let us know what your thoughts were. If you agreed with us, if you didn't, anything you want to tell us, we enjoy every single comment. We appreciate you guys as always, and we will catch you next time with some more content.